Thank you. Now, I'm sorry you saw David Letterman get upset with me, but I was trying to teach him how to milk a goat, but then the goat pooped in the daggum milk bucket and screwed the whole thing up. So I couldn't help anything about doing that. But doing Letterman for almost 25 years was something else, everyone. And then he said on the last show, he said, Jack, you know what you are? You're a walking encyclopedia of misinformation. He said, thank you, Dave. You didn't know what a pig was, you jerk. So I just said on TV, he laughed a little, thank goodness, but that was a lot of fun to do all that. It's really good to be back here, everybody. It really is. Matter of fact, at the same time this opened here is when I was building the zoo up in Central Florida Zoo up there in Sanford. So I really enjoyed building that zoo, and I'm sure it's still there today, I hope. So, but it's really been a great thing to come to Florida, and I love coming here and talking to this theater because it's amazing what SeaWorld does, everybody, for not just having people come here and pay money to see stuff. SeaWorld does more. You might give them a round of applause. They give more money and do more for animals in the wild than any part of the country. They really do. This company really, folks, has really helped save some animals getting ready to go out of extinction. And SeaWorld has always jumped in there and helped us to help these animals. So I just always come here whenever they ask me to do anything here. So it's just been a park that also, when I went to do the Central Florida Zoo, where I brought my little girl, well, they're not little anymore, they have kids, so obviously not little, but we came here to see this. And being from Tennessee, we don't quite see whales in the rivers there. So I brought them here. They still talk about it today to their kids. So I got to get them down here. So I just want to thank SeaWorld for all the things they do for animals throughout this country and throughout the world. So thank you for having me here today. It's been a lot of fun. It really is. And I don't know what animals, sometimes they switch the animals on me. So I'm telling, because I never know what's going to hit me in the back or something's going to happen. I never see back there. I know are they listening to me? Oh my gosh! And I always tell them that really people are, what's your favorite animal? Well, I did raise lions, African lions, on my farm in Tennessee to help the Knoxville Zoo. Yes, actually, my wife and I danced the born free at our wedding. So yes, I do love a lot of animals, but this animal here means more to me than about any animal in the world. When you serve in the military, during the Vietnam War, and you see our national bird, it's just magnificent. It really is. And it's not a sad thing anymore, but when the bald eagle is hatched, it grows a little bit bigger. The white head does not grow right away. So some people, now they know much better. They're hunters. They're not trying to kill these animals here, but they don't have the white head. And of course, now today, if that's anyone caught doing that with a bald eagle, you might as well be in prison for several weeks. And that's just what they had to start doing. But I haven't heard anybody doing this in many years. The bald eagle to me means a great deal, like all of us in this country. It really does. And here, these folks here at SeaWorld, I would not even know the numbers. All these animals here that are hurt, hit wires, and hit all kinds of cars might hit them, come right here to this park. I haven't even asked them recently. I bet you they have saved well over 300 to 500, maybe more than that, of these animals from dying. They take care of them. It costs a lot of money to take care of them, but they do it, and then they send them right back where they came from, back in the wild. So I want to thank this beautiful place here for saving our national bird. It really is unbelievable. I love the bird. And right here, you see those talons right there? That's 1,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. You know what she's holding right now? Because I've done this before, you can feel that inside there. Can you imagine that, 1,000 pounds of things of pressure? It's amazing. I love this bird. Thank you so much in this park for saving those animals from extinction in certain areas. Thank you so much. I love the bald eagle. And it's tremendous. Being hurt, that's a two-toed sloth. And the three-toed sloth obviously has this, the two-toed sloth, three-toed sloth, a little bit bigger in different colors. David Letterman asked me, he said, Jack, what's the difference in a two-toed and three-toed sloth? One toe, you idiot. That's how it's the difference. But that animal, everyone, when I went over there to try to film them in the wild, it's almost, we were down in the river trying to film them. They said they were up there off the river there in the trees, but we went down there and couldn't find the animals. They came back, and the guy went with me because what happens is they have allergy, they have all types of things growing on their hair there. It just turns into like different colors there, and you would think it's just some kind of a big old leaves in a tree or something when they're up there in the daytime trying to see them. And nighttime is the nighttime. There's daytime they hide kind of, and nighttime they're out all the time. And then you can see if she put your hand in the hair there, it's mostly hair, and you can see her hand fingers disappear there. And that's a two-toed sloth. there's a three-toed sloth. Like I said, there's one toe is a difference. But they can also bite, folks, and some people used to have those as pets, and that's kind of not a good thing to do, really. And over there where they live, they lose a lot of them on the highways and things like that, which now they're trying to do what they can to, like we have dogs in our own country that get injured by or whatever by cars. But the sloth is an animal. By the way, it's a prehistoric animal too, by the way. They said the prehistoric sloths weighed well over 500 to 1,000 pounds, so I don't know what that thing looked like, but they are something else. And thank you for bringing our sloth, because when we have him sleeping in the closet at the hotel, oh, never mind, I hope it's not the hotel guys here, but in the closet they like it. Huh? Oh, wait, reminded me. Oh, thank you, that's nice. Now, kangaroo, when they're born, I'm going to let Susie talk about this, but go ahead and I'll tell a little story.
Well, this is a gray kangaroo, and when kangaroos are born, they're the size of a jelly bean. So it's an animal that's going to crawl out of its mother, and it's going to crawl into her pouch, and that's where the baby's going to grow. It's going to attach to a teat. It's not going to be able to come and go as it pleases. It's going to be stuck there for a while, and that's where the baby's going to develop, and that's where we get the name marsupial. Marsupial means the major development of the baby is done outside of the womb. So when that baby's in that pouch, that little worm-like jelly bean, it's going to grow its ears, and that's where it's going to get its feet. So believe it or not, this Joey that you're seeing, this is a gray kangaroo. He's 8 months old. But if he was, actually it's a she, her name is Bindi. And if she lived with her mom, if she was still with her mom, she still would be going in her mother's pouch. However, she'd be coming and going as she pleases. And the downside of macropods or kangaroos is the mothers don't have to be very maternal. And the reason they don't have to is the baby's pretty self-sufficient tucked in that pouch. So oftentimes these joeys fall out of the mother's pouches, and that's how the Columbus Zoo got this little joey. The gray kangaroos are the second largest kangaroos, the red kangaroos being the largest. Male red kangaroos can reach as much as 200 pounds and be 6 feet tall. Now, obviously, kangaroos are known for hopping, and they also have these huge back feet, this enormous tail that they use for balancing. But the back feet can also be used to defend them from any predators they have. And I'm going to let you see her back foot.
Boy, that back foot, folks, a dog that goes after those animals, they're gone. Those claws get real big and that animal's much bigger. That thing standing up is as high as me is. When he kicks, it's something.
It's a very, very powerful foot. But since Bindi fell out of her mother's pouch, we have to make pouches for her. So if you see us walking around, and also being one of the most vocal, the Asian small-clawed otters are very aquatic. They spend most of their time in the water, and believe it or not, in Asia, the fishermen love these guys. What they'll do is they'll train them to chase the fish right into their nets. And Brandon has trained Yang to show you that. So what he's doing is he's taking a little rubber fish and he's putting it in the basket. Now, the otters wouldn't pick it up and put it in a basket, but they would chase him. But what you are seeing is an animal that's very intelligent. These are very, very intelligent animals. It's almost painful to watch them training because you can just see their little minds thinking. The other cool thing, which makes this a very smart species, is they're tool users. And we're going to see if Yang will show you what otters will do, the Asian small-clawed otter will do, is they'll find stones or pebbles. And they're very tactile. And they'll find these stones, which he has one right now. I don't know if the camera's close enough and you can see it. But they'll take them and they roll them around because that's the only way they can really carry them back to home base where they want to take them. And then they'll use those stones to crack open crustaceans for food and things like that. It's a very, very amazing animal. And when you look at their feet, the other cool thing about, they don't have the long claws because they spend so much of their time in the water.
Cheetah at the Columbus Zoo, along with what they do here, this beautiful zoo they have, do the best breeding. This beautiful zoo does the best breeding about any cheetahs anywhere I know of. They're really something else, folks. Gorgeous animals. The cheetah, when I try to film a cheetah in Africa, it's very, very difficult. That thing can run like a rocket. How fast do they go?
We've gotten out to 64 miles per hour.
64 miles per hour. If you look at that foot down there, by the way, you'll notice the foot there looks just like a dog's foot. Not like a lot of cats with those claws. This animal's just like a dog's foot there. The animal gets good speed too, by the way. And their eyesight is absolutely unbelievable. You might see those beautiful marks underneath their eyes there. You see that? That's because it's not like a lot of cats that hunt at nighttime. This animal here, the ones I've seen mostly, hunt in the daytime. That helps with the sun. Isn't that amazing how Mother Nature gives them that? To see these animals, they can see another animal, I don't know how many, about a mile away. It's amazing how they hunt. And that's why they have that speed. They lay down there, and I have seen it several times. Boy, he goes like a bullet. And a lot of times the animals that he goes for, I know there's kids in here right now, get away from him. So he has to, and I won't say it out loud, but they have to get here, is what they have to do. There's a weak cat when it comes to like knocking on a lion or a tiger, which happens in 1 millisecond. This animal here has to do a little bit different than other cats do in the wild. That's a beautiful, those two cats here are absolutely outstanding. And I know that this wonderful zoo and stuff you guys do is some of the best breeding of this animal here of anybody in the country. It really is. Good night. I don't know what hotel you're staying in, but I don't want to be there.
We'll be going back to Tampa tonight, Jack.
I'm just kidding. No, really, the cheetah is something else, everyone. It really is. Way back during the Egyptians in northern Africa, this animal was an animal that was used for a hunting tool. This animal was what was feeding the people back in the, who knows, 1,200, thousands of years ago. The cheetah was an animal that they took, and that was how they didn't have guns or bows and arrows in. They used the cheetah, because I've seen it marked up on walls in certain caves and stuff. So the animal is an amazing creature, the cheetah is. It really is. See this? Boy, don't worry about it, he's just looking at you right now. So one thing you don't do, and it's like a lot of animals, like the bears in Montana where I live. If an animal like this sees you and you start running up there, they're going to run after you. Not necessarily eat you or anything, they're going to knock you down and maybe walk on. But just if you go hiking and stuff out there in Montana or other states, you might come around the corner like my wife Susie and I did once or whatever. Just have to stand there. 99% of the time, the animal will go away from you. When you run, the animal's not there to eat you, he's there to chase after you. So I just want you to see it. These animals, thank you so much for bringing the cheetah, because being the fastest land mammal on the world is like unbelievable.